Yamada Ryu is scolded by his teacher for being a troublesome child and is told to look up to Shirashi Yurira, who is the school nerd. He tries to tease her later but falls off the stairs and takes her down with him. Yamada wakes up in the infirmary but is shocked to learn that he has switched bodies with Shirashi. He confronts her later but is told that there's nothing that can be done for now. Yamada tries to make the most of his female body, but then he learns how Shirashi is teased and harassed by the other girls. He meets Shirashi later and says that he will make the girls pay for what they have done, but she refuses to let him take her revenge. However, our hero attacks a bully named Rin, and Shirashi gets in the way. They argue hilariously and Rin runs away after seeing a boy's strength in a girl's body. Now the couple tries to switch back by falling off the stairs again, but it doesn't work. That's when Shirashi realizes that they had kissed during the previous fall. So they try it out and she turns out to be right. However, they are spotted by Miyamura Torinosuke, who meets Yamada after he switches with Shirashi. He allows himself to get beaten up by some creeps, and then Yamada defeats the goons with his typical finisher moves. Miyamura realizes what has happened and takes the couple to the supernatural studies room, where he confirms their powers by kissing Yamada and switching with him. As the trio decides to carry on in secrecy, a girl named Ito Miyabi asks to join the club. She tries her best to convince our heroes that she has supernatural powers, but she turns out to be a scam. Despite this, Ito enrolls in the club, much to Yamada's dismay. Later, he learns that he has to take up supplementary exams, so he tries to switch bodies with Shirashi by kissing her, but Ito keeps interrupting them. Miyamura distracts Ito, but the noisy girl comes back and witnesses the couple kissing. She loses her mind and vows revenge for this betrayal, so she spreads the news all over the school. Yamada doesn't want Shirashi to be harassed, so he meets Ito and asks her to take back the rumors, but she doesn't listen. With no other choice, he kisses her and knocks her out after switching bodies. Now, Yamada runs around the school to dispel the rumors but realizes that nobody took them serious in the first place. To make matters worse, Ito disappears with Yamada's body, so he quickly alerts the others about this. After some investigation, they realize that she's gone to meet some goons she owes money to, so Yamada rushes to save her. However, he finds her beaten down, so he defeats the goons easily and switches bodies again. Now that Ito knows the truth, she apologizes and is about to leave, but the team asks her to join them. Now everyone keeps kissing each other for fun, and it leads to a lot of confusion. Later, our heroes learn that the student council hasn't given them any funds, so Yamada rushes to meet President Haruma Yamazaki along with Miyamura. However, Haruma completely ignores Yamada as he is only interested in women. The boys switch bodies with the girls and try to seduce him, but even this doesn't work as he can smell their masculinity. Haruma offers to give our heroes a higher budget, but only if Yamada can find out why Shirashi doesn't want to go to college. However, she refuses to answer and walks away, after which Odagiri Nene and Yushio Igarashi taunt Miyamura for aspiring to become the next president. The next day, Shirashi falls sick and tricks Yamada into switching bodies with her so that she can study while he suffers. Miyamura decides to visit her home now that they have access to it, but he and Ito simply peep around. Yamada throws them out and meets Shirashi, who switches bodies with him after an argument. Our hero feels bad for his crush, so he takes care of Shirashi and convinces her to go to college with him. Now that they have succeeded in their mission, Haruma grants the team their budget. The class goes out for a trip and the couple switch bodies again because Shirashi wants to study instead of being harassed by her friends. It seems fine at first, but then it becomes too much for Yamada to handle, so he confronts Shirashi. She reasons that she's too shy, but our hero doesn't care and kisses her to become normal again. However, he's threatened by Nene later when she reveals a picture of Shirashi checking out her own undergarments in Yamada's body. Nene blackmails our hero and tells him to stop Shirashi from taking a mock exam if he doesn't want the picture leaked. Yamada discusses this with Miyamura and Ito, after which he decides to switch bodies with Nene. He kisses his opponent later in the night but isn't able to switch, and to make matters worse, he loses his powers as his kisses don't work on Ito or Miyamura. The next day, Yamada talks to Shirashi about the blackmail, but she doesn't seem to mind it. However, Yamada learns that both Miyamura and Ito have fallen in love with him because his kissing powers have turned into charming powers. It gets very awkward, so he kisses them again to make them normal. The team tempts him to kiss and charm Shirashi, and then his crush enters the room. She wants to switch bodies with him, but he refuses to do so out of fear. Now, Yamada looks out for Nene but is unable to find her, after which he gets into an awkward situation with Shirashi. Meanwhile, Nene is upset that she hasn't been able to charm Yamada with her kiss, so she goes looking for him. Shirashi learns about what happened to Yamada but wishes to kiss him anyway. Surprisingly, the couple is able to switch bodies again after the kiss. That's when Shirashi realizes that Yamada's actual power is to copy other people's powers. Yushio and Nene catch them kissing, and we learn that Nene has fallen fallen victim to her own spell. Shirashi explains the situation to Yamada, but then he is attacked by Yushio, who is upset with what he's done to his mistress. We learn that Yamada and Yushio have been rivals for a long time, and then they get into a fight. Shirashi explains everything to Yushio as well, so he decides to let Nene kiss Yamada once more, but he refuses to do so even after Yushio begs him. Shirashi slaps our hero and talks some sense into him, so he agrees to reverse the spell, and then we learn that Yushio is actually a slave to Nene's spell. A flashback shows us how Yamada was framed by Yushio and Nene during an epic fight with some goons, and this is what caused him to be hated by everyone in school. Now the team goes to Nene to switch the spell, but she asks to be alone with Yamada and begs him to let her be this way. However, he still kisses her, and then the team learns that there are 7 witches in their school, all with kissing powers. They decide to use Yamada as their witch detector, as he has the copying power, and he reluctantly agrees. Later, our heroes enjoy a school retreat at the beach, but Yamada is unable to join them as he has too many supplementary exams. He continues to struggle with his tests, so Shirashi switches bodies with him and takes his classes. She impresses Otsuka Mika, who kisses her out of friendship, but they don't switch bodies, so Shirashi realizes that she is also a witch. Yamada has to go back to his body to test Otsuka, but his behavior only scares her away. The others try to figure a way to solve all his problems, so Shirashi decides to switch bodies to convince Otsuka to kiss Yamada again. After an awkward encounter with Nene, the couple switch again, and then Yamada kisses Otsuka. After that, he kisses all his friends to check for Otsuka's powers, and after a brief nightmare, we learn that it's telepathy. Yamada is amazed to see how aggressive Otsuka's telepathic alter ego is, and then we learn that this power can be shared by anyone affected with it. Now, our hero works together with the supplementary team by sharing the answers through telepathy, and they finally pass their exams. Later, the team looks for a witch book, but their secret room has been cleared out by Haruma. Later, Yamada tells Shirashi that the next witch is Maria Shirushima. Yamada and Miyamura try to break into Maria's house, but she shows up and actually helps them inside. Yamada tries to kiss her, but then she asks him to save her first. Maria explains that she can see the future and reveals that she had witnessed a school fire that she and Yamada would be held responsible for. Yamada takes this information to the team, and after some discussions, they realize that Maria must have kissed someone else because the vision was from another point of view. Yamada asks Maria about it, and she learns that she had kissed a man named Tsubaki Kentaro. He goes to meet Tsubaki and figures that he has a crush on Shirashi and also likes to fry tempura. Yamada realizes he will be the cause of the fire and takes Shirashi's powers to try and switch bodies with him. Tsubaki is too strong for the boys and beats them up. Now, Yamada becomes Shirashi to seduce Tsubaki, but the team still gets visions of the school burning down. In a last moment twist, Shirashi takes back her body and dumps Tsubaki so that Yamada won't have to take the blame for the fire. However, our hero rushes to the spot and manages to prevent the tragedy successfully. Later, he bonds with Shirashi over her concern for his reputation. The team searches for more witches, and they learn that the next one is Takigawa Noa. Yujio and Nene reveal that Noa is the one hiding the witch book, and then Yamada confronts her. She puts up an act and teases him, so Yamada tries to kiss her, but she refuses and leaves. This hurts his feelings, so he harasses Noa and asks to join her gang. So she agrees to kiss him, but he senses something is off and stops her. This angers Noa, so she orders her cult to wreck the team's supernatural studies room. Yamada gets upset and confronts Harama, who says that Noa's real mission is to eradicate all the witches from school. Shirashi switches bodies with Yamada so that Noa's cult can be fooled into attacking him, and they take the bait. Now, our heroes switch bodies and confront Noa, but she sees through their deception with ease. However, she wants her friends back, so a lengthy negotiation follows. Finally, everyone gets what they want, and then Noa shows Yamada her true power, which is to relive traumatic memories. Our hero consoles Noa, who says that she wants to save her friends from the disgrace of an unprecedented cheating incident. After a brief argument with her cult, our heroes manage to resolve the issue and everything goes back to normal. However, Noa becomes attached to Yamada as he was able to see her most personal truth, as she wants to fall in love, which won't be possible if she can see her partner's future. Yamada meets Tamaki Shinichi, the witch killer, and asks for his help, but he messes around with him by showing off his powers of invisibility that he stole from an ex-witch. Our hero visits Haruma and learns that his secretary, Mikoto Asuka, was one of whose powers were stolen by Tamaki. He is also told that he has to find the 7th witch to solve all his problems, but men don't count as witches. Hoping for a clue, Yamada kisses Maria but sees a future where Tamaki becomes the school president and Shirashi becomes his secretary. Yamada sees that she is very much miserable and can't allow this to happen as he has fallen in love with Shirashi. The race for the elections grow tense, and Yamada realizes that Tamaki is using his invisibility to steal the work of his competitors. He switches bodies with Shirashi Shirashi to keep up a disguise and tells her about the future he saw, but she doesn't care and asks him to do what he sees best. Yamada visits Miyamura's sister Leona and switches bodies with her to negotiate a deal to learn about the 7th witch, but she changes the game and forces Yamada to confess his love for Shirashi. After a brief chat, Leona tells him that the 7th witch is Rika Sayonji, but warns that he'll lose all his witch memories if Rika catches him. Yamada takes the risk and gives the information to Haruma after he asks his friends to help him remember the past if he is caught. Now, our hero shares a brief moment with his crush, after which Rika comes to erase his memories. However, Yamada is surprised to learn that the ones who have lost their memories are his friends, including Shirashi. Haruma reveals that this was his plan all along, and now only Tamaki remembers Yamada as he is a witch killer. Our hero asks Shirashi out on a date, but she reveals that she likes Miyamura. This breaks his heart, so he decides to use Nene's powers by kissing her, but Shirashi sees them together. Then she reveals that she has feelings for Yamada even though she has forgotten who he is. Our hero tells his girlfriend everything, but she doesn't believe him, so he tries to kiss her but is rejected again. Then Nene comes to him later and we learn that Rika's powers can be reversed by a kiss. However, Rika learns about the kiss reversal and casts her spell on Yamada again after revealing that any wish can come true if the 7 witches perform a ceremony together. Yamada warns Nene about the second spell, but to everyone's surprise, Rika's powers can only work once on a target. Now, Nene reveals that the witch ceremony must have already happened once, so they decide to do it again to make things normal. Unfortunately, Haruma and the student council announce that Yamada is a kissing bandit, hoping to keep him away from the witches. Despite this, Shirashi wants her hero to kiss her, but they are stopped by Asuka. Then we see Haruma trying to push Nene into stopping Yamada as he realizes that she has fallen in love with our hero. Luckily, she denies the request and goes ahead with the plan regardless of her feelings. Yamada goes around kissing all his witches except Shirashi. Then Yamada invites the team, including Tamaki, to a witch ceremony of his own, so Yamada decides to kiss Shirashi before it's too late. However, she turns out to be Asuka in disguise, so our hero confronts the president, who tells him that Shirashi is trapped inside Asuka's house. Yamada goes to Miyamura and Leona for help, and she suspects Tamaki getting invited to the ceremony. Leona states that Haruma's plan is to have Tamaki return the stolen power to Asuka so that he can make a quick escape. The team acts fast and tries to tackle Rika by exploiting her insecurities. However, she only agrees to help if Leona comes to school so that she can erase her memories. That's when Leona reveals that she was once Haruma's girlfriend, but he forgot her after meeting the 7th witch. After giving it some thought, she decides to go ahead with her sacrifice and meets Haruma for one last time. The president becomes emotional all of a sudden, even though he doesn't know why. Later, Asuka is tied up and Yamada kisses Shirashi to bring her back, after which all the witches come together. That's when Haru arrives and realizes that Rika had erased his memories as well. Now the ceremony begins and time freezes for everyone except Rika and Yamada. They finally go through with the ritual and everything goes back to normal. Yamada invites his friends to tell them that he had actually wished for the witch powers to disappear, and everyone agrees that it was the right thing to do. After that, he and Shirashi finally confess their love for each other and have a happy ending. And that's the end of the show. Like, share, and subscribe for more awesome content, and hit that bell icon for regular notifications. Okay then, I'll see you in the next one.